What lies beneath our surface? We were so sure we knew, but then someone decided to delve so deeply that it defied not only science but also the imagination. Today, I take you on a journey that begins in the 1970s, in the heart of a cold Russian peninsula, where Soviet scientists embarked on an undertaking that would break all records and spawn one of the most disturbing urban legends in history, the Kola superdeep borehole. It is the story of a hole so deep that it touches the limits of our planet and our understanding, a symbol of human ambition that still leaves us breathless today. But there's much more than rocks in this abyss. Get ready because we're about to descend where no one has ever dared to go. In 1970, in the middle of the Kola Peninsula, in a remote corner of Russia, a titanic drilling project got underway. It was not a search for oil or gas, but a real scientific mission. A race against time and against the Americans, but this time not for the moon, but for the bowels of the Earth. The goal was as simple as it was ambitious: to drill as deep into the Earth's crust as possible to study the composition of our planet. An undertaking that seemed to come from a Jules Verne novel, but which was incredibly real. Scientists wanted to reach the Earth's mantle, the mysterious boundary that lies beneath the crust, an unexplored place that promised to reveal the secrets of our world's formation. Imagine digging a tunnel hundreds of kilometers long to reach the heart of an apple. That was the scale of the undertaking. For 24 years, day after day, drills hammered away at the rock. Engineers and scientists worked tirelessly, pushing the technology of the time to its limits. Every meter gained was a victory, every rock core extracted a treasure. The Kola borehole quickly became the deepest hole ever dug by man, far surpassing any previous attempt. To give you an idea, its maximum depth was 12,262 meters. That's more than twice the depth of the Mariana Trench, if you could turn it vertically and dig into it. They weren't looking for gold or diamonds, although they found some microscopic ones. They were looking for pure knowledge. They wanted to understand the composition of the crust, its age, the presence of minerals, and the deep geology like never before. Every inch dug meant new, revolutionary data, which rewrote what we thought we knew about Earth. But this scientific challenge was far from a walk in the park. Every additional meter meant higher temperatures, greater pressures, and increasingly extreme conditions. Initial predictions turned out to be disastrously optimistic. At a depth of 12 kilometers, scientists expected to find around 100 degrees Celsius. Instead, they were faced with hell on Earth, 180 degrees Celsius, unbearable heat that struggled to cool and that distorted, warped, and destroyed the equipment. Drills would jam, cables would melt, and sensors would go haywire. The rock itself was unlike anything we'd ever expected. Instead of becoming denser and more compact as we descended, the rock became more porous and water saturated, almost plastic at those pressures and temperatures, making drilling incredibly difficult and slow. It was like trying to dig through lava. Every minute was a struggle against an inexorable force trying to close the hole it had just created. Despite these incredible difficulties, the discoveries were extraordinary. Kola scientists unearthed rock samples dating back 2.7 billion years, revealing a subterranean world no one had ever seen. They found rocks with traces of microbial life at unimaginable depths, suggesting that life could thrive in extreme conditions much more than we previously thought. They discovered deposits of helium and hydrogen, and yes, they even found microscopic diamonds. Each core extracted was an open book on the history of our planet, providing crucial data on its evolution and the structure of the Earth's crust, information that rewrote the geology textbooks and is still studied today. But then, at a certain point, the drill stopped. The heat, the pressure, and the increasing costs made it impossible to continue. The project was finally abandoned in 1992 and the well sealed in 1994, leaving behind not only a scientific record but also something far stranger and more persistent: a chilling urban legend. It is said that Soviet scientists, by pushing so deep, somehow broke through a boundary, arriving in a forbidden place. The story, which spread like wildfire amid the Cold War and apocalyptic panic of the 1980s, told of a microphone lowered into the depths, not to detect the geological sounds of rocks, but to record something far more sinister. The microphone is said to have recorded chilling sounds, screams, thousands of human voices like the cries of damned souls coming from the depths of the earth. The legend of the screams of hell became a viral phenomenon well before the internet existed. Radio broadcasts talked about it, newspapers reported the story, and cassettes with alleged recordings began to circulate. Imagine the scene: Russian scientists in a secret base, the heat unbearable, the ground cracking, and then these desperate screams rising from the depths of the earth. It was a perfect story to stoke the fear of the unknown, the fear of having pushed the boundaries of human knowledge too far, of having awakened something better left dormant. Although scientists categorically denied it, explaining that the recorded noises were simply geological sounds from the movement of tectonic plates at those depths, or perhaps even just interference, the legend had by now taken hold. The Kola well was no longer just a scientific hole, but the gateway to hell. Today, the Kola super deep borehole stands sealed, a rusty metal plaque marking its entrance, a silent witness to an age of limitless scientific ambition. Experiments can no longer be done there, but its legacy is immense. It taught us a lot about the Earth's crust, about extreme temperatures, about microbial life in impossible conditions. But perhaps his greatest teaching is another. He showed us that, as much as science tries to reveal every mystery, there is always room for fantasy, for legend, for that part of us that loves to believe in the incredible. It is a monument to human audacity, to our insatiable thirst for knowledge, and a reminder that our planet is a far more complex and surprising place than we can imagine. If the Kola well has fascinated you, don't miss the next video you'll find here on the screen.